Trump turns his full focus on Harris at his first rally since Biden's exit from the 2024 race. Donald Trump unleashed a barrage of attack lines Wednesday against his likely new opponent, Vice President Kamala Harris, whom he called his new victim to defeat and accused of deceiving the public about President Joe Biden's ability to run for a second term. The rally in Charlotte, North Carolina marked his first public campaign event since Biden dropped out of the 2024 matchup and Harris became the Democrats' likely nominee. The rally concluded minutes before Biden addressed the nation to explain he dropped his re-election bid to pass the torch to Harris, who is 22 years younger than him. So now we have a new victim to defeat, Lion, Kamala Harris, Trump said, labeling her the most incompetent and far-left vice president in American history. Trump called her a radical left lunatic and said she was crazy for her positions on abortion and immigration. He repeatedly mispronounced the first name of the first black woman and person of South Asian descent likely to lead a major party's presidential ticket. Trump's speech signaled the next stage for the campaign may be especially brutal and personal, even as some GOP leaders warned Republican allies not to use overtly racist and sexist attacks against Harris. Trump has ramped up his criticism of the vice president since Biden's abrupt departure, calling Harris the same as Biden but much more radical. He blamed her for what he portrays as the Biden administration's failures, particularly security along the US-Mexico border. On Wednesday, the speakers who appeared on stage before the Republican nominee attacked Harris' record on the border, highlighting she was tasked with leading a White House effort to tackle migration issues. Harris' name was met with boos several times during the speeches. She was assigned that, she was given that task, and she failed, said Brandon Jur, former president of the National Border Patrol Council, the union that represents agents. Harris, meanwhile, spent Wednesday in Indiana, telling members of the historically black sorority Zeta Phi Beta that, "We are not playing around," and asked for their help in electing her president in November, an election she characterized as a choice between two different visions for our nation, one focused on the future, the other focused on the past. Quietly, Republicans have spoken about how subbing Harris in for Biden nullifies a portion of their party's argument in favor of Trump's vitality and vigor. At 81, Biden would have been the oldest presidential nominee heading into a general election. Now, the 78-year-old Trump occupies that slot. Harris, 59, has launched a campaign that at least in some corners appears to be stoking interest among the younger voters who could be key in deciding an anticipated close general election. Trump's stop in North Carolina shows he's concerned about keeping the state in his column this November, even as his team reaches for wins in traditionally Democratic-leaning states like Minnesota, which Trump is set to visit on Saturday. North Carolina is a state Trump carried in both his previous campaigns but by less than 1.5 percentage points over Biden in 2020, the closest margin of any state Trump won. Trump stumped heavily in North Carolina even as the COVID-19 pandemic wore on, while Biden largely kept off the physical campaign trail and did not personally visit the state in the last 16 days of the election. This year, Trump had planned to hold his first rally since the start of his hush money trial in Fayetteville, but that event was called off due to inclement weather. Trump called in from his private plane instead. Biden held a campaign event in Raleigh the day after his disastrous June debate with Trump. While he was much more forceful in that appearance than he was on the debate stage, it did not help much to quell the growing concern from members of his party about his ability to win the White House again. The Charlotte rally, like one held Saturday in Grand Rapids, Michigan, was held in an indoor arena. Trump campaign spokesman Stephen Chang said it's to be determined if the campaign will no longer hold outdoor rallies due to security concerns.